Good day, Internet. This is DTNS Live for Friday, May 2nd, 2025. From Studio Animal House, I'm Sarah Lane.
Back in Studio 7 in Los Angeles, I'm Tom Merritt.
Drawing the top tech stories in Cleveland, I'm Len Peralta.
I'm the show's producer, Roger Chang.
Daily Tech News Show Live is made possible by you. Thank you for supporting us. Philip Shane, Paul Boyer, D. Laser, and every single one of you. We appreciate it.
Indeed. And welcome to DTNS Live. This is the show where we discuss the tech news to help us all understand it a little bit better. And today, helping us understand it a little bit better is David Spark, producer host of the CISCO Series. Welcome back, David.
I love being back. And this is for those of you who have been watching this show for God knows how many years. This is a repeated thing I do, coming back after RSA and talking about it. And we got to be well over 10, 12 years of doing this.
Yeah.
Tom. It's been going on for a long time.
People now know, springtime is here. David is talking about RSA.
Exactly.
And then they know fall is coming when you come back and talk about DEF CON and Black Hat later.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, Tom, you were on the show on Monday from Las Vegas, but you're back on the show today. We missed you.
I missed you guys too. But it was fun being out there at TMS Vegas and seeing all the Tadpool folks from Scott Johnson's show, Brian Ibbett. We had good food, good times. And big thanks to everybody who was wearing their DTNS gear. I saw lots of DTNS shirts. Zoe Briggs Bacon was there with her DTNS mug. So yeah, it was really cool. It was really fun. But it's good to be back in the saddle.
Well, and Joe, I know you are a man of few words when we do the show live, but we missed you too. So welcome back to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, that may be the most words he said in a row on a live
Disembodied voice.
he said,
I thought it would just be like a,
Yeah.
All right, we are here to talk tech news, so let's get right into it with the quick hits.
I have bad news for you that you've probably already heard. Rockstar Games has delayed Grand Theft Auto 6 till May 26th, 2026. See, more sixes because they're delaying it. It was originally supposed to come out this fall. They are citing the need for more time to meet the franchise's quality standards. So you'll be happy they delayed it.
666. That's very Rockstar of them.
They should put it out on June 6th. You're right.
In its Q2 earnings call, a lot of stuff coming from Apple. But Apple CEO Tim Cook also said he expects tariffs to add $900 million to the company's cost next quarter, with $95.4 billion in revenue and record services income in this quarter. Cook warned that the tariff impact could worsen in future quarters. Apple is shifting production to India and Vietnam from China and building up U.S. inventory ahead of new tariffs.
Chinese e-commerce platform Temu says says it has removed all products from its U.S. site that ship directly from China, and instead orders will be fulfilled for Temu shoppers in the U.S. from within the United States.
Spotify's latest iOS update lets U.S. users subscribe directly through an external site with no App Store cut. It's the first major app to bypass Apple's rules because that Apple has to let Spotify do this now, as well as other apps. Spotify calls it a win for users and creators who can now show prices and links.
Google Voice is getting a revamped in-call interface similar to Google Meet, adding a new transfer and add merge button. You can now start three-way calls by tapping add and merge the second call. The interface is rolling out to everybody, but three-way calling is initially limited to Google Workspace subscribers if you're on certain voice or SIP link plans. The rollout is also focused on Android.
Ireland's Data Protection Commission has fined TikTok parent ByteDance 530 million euros, which is around 600 million US dollars, for not providing sufficient reassurance that the Chinese government did not have access to any EU user data transferred to Chinese servers. TikTok now needs to show that evidence or stop all EU data transfers in the next 6 months. So Reddit sometimes feels to me like just the same old Reddit that it's always been, but it does come out with new stuff here and there. Today is that day. Reddit will soon integrate its AI-powered Reddit Answers feature directly into its main search bar. CEO Steve Huffman said during the company's Q1 earnings call this was happening. It was previously in beta. So you might say, yeah, I mean, doesn't that already exist? Many people have already played around with it, but it was housed separately. Now, Reddit Answers is meant to be a part of your search experience, summarizing discussions around the site. And now, the company says, sees 1 million weekly users, which is quite a bit.
Yeah, I have not been using Reddit Answers. I think I tried it the day they launched it and then kind of forgot to go to it. So they're getting 1 million weekly users out of people just remembering to go back there once they integrate it into search. I'm sure I'll use it more, and probably a lot of other people will too.
Mm-hmm.
We, at the CISCO Series, we have a really nice relationship with the cybersecurity subreddit, and we run an Ask Me Anything once a month on that site. And we have learned, just talking about generally about new features that Reddit adds, a lot of them aren't as flashy as Reddit Answers. Sometimes they're just small improvements here and there. And what we have learned is there's a lot of sort of unfortunate hiccups and unfortunate sort of development problems with them. So I don't know where they are with Reddit Answers. I think maybe more focus on that because it's sort of a big splasher thing. But it's if you're running a Reddit channel yourself and you're taking advantage of some of the features they offer, be aware of the limitations that may or may not make sense. Like if you're sort of spotlighting people in an AMA, so I think they limit to the number of people participate, as in terms of the presenters, to like 4 or 5. Just sort of keep an eye out for that.
I just asked Reddit Answers if you're knowledgeable about Reddit Answers, and it said you are because you participate in the AMA on Reddit.
You asked if David was?
Yeah, I asked Reddit Answers, is David Spark knowledgeable about Reddit Answers? And it said, David Spark is indeed knowledgeable about Reddit Answers as evidenced by his participation in an AMA on Reddit. Here are some key points.
Okay. So I would not advise someone listening to that at all.
Well, I mean, you're obviously not knowledgeable, but participation alone, does not.
I got a participation trophy from Reddit Answers. Is what it sounds like.
I don't know. I guess the whole thing with Reddit is Reddit has felt maybe more than any other website that I still go to. I mean, I know it's an app now as well, but I usually go to it on desktop. It hasn't changed much. Sure, the content has changed. There are answers and subreddits for all sorts of things that didn't used to be there. But it feels more or less like the Reddit of yore. And I just wonder if anybody out there is kind of like, AI, it's going to make it weird. Because Reddit, maybe unlike any other place that I can think of on the internet now, is a place where you can find a lengthy conversation about pretty much anything.
And also, there's no shortage of opinions.
Yes.
No.
So if you want to get feedback, you'll get feedback on Reddit.
Yeah, the Reddit Answers thing is a weird thing when the benefit of Reddit is I get the hive mind, right? And all of its opinions and all of its advice. And then Reddit Answers is very, I don't know, like you say, it's not always reliable, but it's also very sterile.
Yes.
Well, I will also say one of the problems we have with the AMAs, and I'm sure you've seen it with AMAs and you've seen it for stuff, is there's a lot of people who are kind of either on their own agenda or asking things that are annoying. Like one of the things, because we ask a bunch of security professionals to participate in our AMAs, and the point of the AMA is you answer anything. But we say sometimes the questions are inappropriate, they're off topic, they're not relevant. And we tell our professionals to go, look, if it's not relevant, you do not have to answer it. But I will just mention one of the cool features in the AMA is they have a all responses, but then they have answered and unanswered questions, which is great for us to see what we have not approached. Because when you get hundreds of comments, it's hard to find what I need to get to. So that's a really cool feature that they have in it. but you will see a bunch of unanswered stuff because sometimes it's a lot of irrelevant stuff. And we make it very clear. Ask us relevant questions.
Yeah, it's ask me anything, not I'll answer anything.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Good point.
Well, and
Although
and,
everyone does want to know if 100 men can defeat a single gorilla.
I still
That
do.
is the
Yes.
question of the
Yeah,
day.
we're still just grappling. with
Someone
that-
has not put
with
this
that-
into a CAD
that very
model and
important
figured it
question.
out.
Oh, there's a lot of work being done on this question right now on Reddit. Yes.
So going back to Reddit as being is this a place where AI makes a lot of sense if you have a specific question, right? You're not necessarily wanting to talk to a big group of other people who have differing opinions. You're looking for yes or no kind of fact stuff. This reminds me of what Quora has been doing. This feels very kind of like if you are sort of like what's 1 plus 2, Reddit answers. Give me a
But
little
do
something.
you remember a long time ago, LinkedIn did something like this, and then they just shut it down. Do you have
Don't
memory of
remember
this?
that actually.
So
remember
this
LinkedIn.
is
It
the
was
thing
a
that-
generated
this.
answers thing like Reddit.
No. The idea, no, it wasn't generated. I'm sorry, it wasn't generated, but they had a LinkedIn answer section. And what was really powerful about this, and this is, I felt sorry for the people who heavily participated, is they would have an area, like it could be cybersecurity, and people would participate in answering questions in cybersecurity. And if you answered a lot of questions, you were seen as a cybersecurity expert. And so it proved to be quite a valuable thing to do if others approved that your answers were right, not just because you answered every darn question. But it proved to be a very valuable thing to sort of showcase the biggest voices in certain categories. And then one day, they just turned it off. No warning, nothing, just off. It was unbelievable.
The silence of the answers.
I mean, it's weird because the AI functionality for me in Reddit would best be used just to point me in the direction of the best threads that have a topic I'm thinking about. Like, what's the best replacement transmission for my 2006 Toyota Camry? And then it could just pull up, you should check out these threads because they're talking about this specific subject.
That's just search.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
even when I do search on Reddit, you get a lot of kind of basically having AI be sort of the maybe the curator, but to kind of whittle it down
Just
to
improve the search. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I mean, what? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say the whole thing with Reddit is yes, you can, and we're all familiar with searching something very specific. You're looking for a specific answer, or who's got what to say about a specific topic, and you say Google.com blah 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 Reddit. And you will always get that Reddit thread. You'll always get that Reddit thread. And I feel like that's sort of the beauty of Reddit, right? There are so many times that I look up, I don't know, it's a fact, maybe something that happened in history, who even knows, whatever it is. And I get my internet rundown, and then you go to Reddit, and it's like, oh, people have been talking about this for 13 years. On the Reddit slash whatever.
Yeah, you're late to the party.
Yeah.
You're always
Right.
late to the party on Reddit.
Yeah, but that's fun. If you're interested in something, it's always fun to feel like, wow, there are a lot of other people who are really, really interested in this topic that I'm also interested in. So I wonder, Reddit answers, sure, that's an easy way to just get a little bit here and there. I wonder if that does pull away from engagement on the platform in general.
Because people aren't necessarily asking people for.
Well, because
I
not
need help with-
everybody is
Yeah.
looking to do the deep dive. They're looking for an answer, a quick
Yeah,
answer.
Well, a lot of I mean, part of the place where AI could really help is sort of sifting through the chaff of answers, because sometimes people don't know what they're talking about. And I've come across a lot of these where eventually you come out with the three people. It's like, whoa, you're mistaking two different things. This is what you want to actually look at. And if you can have the AI to kind of just whittle that so you're not going through 12 different threads that are 100 messages deep, it would be super beneficial, at least for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Depends on, how much time you have in the day and how much
your
you're
life.
looking for. Yeah. Like easy answer or let's start arguing with the internet, which Reddit is also very good at doing.
I mean, that's a
It is
pastime
the-
for people.
It is definitely a pastime for many folks. I have been there as well. It is the FIDO Alliance's World Passkey Day, and Microsoft is celebrating. Tom, how are they celebrating?
They have gotten rid of passwords, just like they got rid of it from World Password Day and made it World Passkey Day. It is now a passwordless Microsoft world if you're signing up for a new account. So if you have a brand new Microsoft account, which is probably very few people listening to this, but you're signing up for a brand new Microsoft account, you will give them your email only. They will then send you a confirmation code at your email. You will enter that confirmation code with your email address to log in, and then you have your account set up. Once you have your account set up, they're going to prompt you to set up a passkey. And then you'll be able to log in with your biometrics, whether it's fingerprint or Windows Hello or Face ID or something like that. Every time you log into your Microsoft account from then on, you never need to choose a password. You'll just use passkey. If you're an existing user, you'll be prompted to use alternative sign-in methods every time you sign in. They're not going to give you the password first, even if you have one. They're going to say, do you have a passkey? Use that to sign in. Okay. What about this other way of signing in? And you have had for a while now the ability to go in and delete your password from your Microsoft account. That way it could never be leaked because you just don't have one. This is a big deal that Microsoft is pushing new users to sign up with passkey only. It's going to change a lot of things. And David, I know that you follow this very closely.
Yeah,
How big of a deal is this?
So this is a really big deal because Microsoft is such a huge, huge platform. And just the history of the password is, the irony is we've been using this for security, and the whole industry knows that if we rely on this, we don't have security. And that's the bizarre irony of all of this.
Yeah.
So there have been a multitude of solutions just trying to solve this authentication issue that you are the human that you are. Now, the problem is, with all sort of password management or authentication things is, one version, you can't rely on one version. You just can't rely on the password. You can't just rely on your phone because what if you don't have your phone? You can't rely on this. So you always have to have multiple things. And then there's the fear of, well, if I have multiple things, then there are multiple ways that I can broken into. But again, things like biometrics, things like face recognition is biometrics, but anything that we can do to move away from the truest, weakest form of authentication, which is passwords, is a good thing. And the fact that there's a huge platform that's sort of forcing us in the direction is huge. And by the way, Apple is forcing us. So the two biggest players forcing us, this is great.
Have you deleted your Microsoft password?
I don't know yet, but I know that I've been forced into, like, the last time I logged into something, my passkey took over rather than my password.
Because they're pushing it first. But would you go in and delete your Microsoft password and just rely on the other ways?
I didn't.
Man,
honest to God, I didn't even realize I could do this. I'll probably go do this.
I'm going to do it right now.
So okay,
we have a show, Tom.
Oh wow! He's just
I'm not going to share the screen.
He's a wild animal. So I think that's where a lot of us get caught up in this. It's like passkey, password. We know the difference. We know why passkey is.
Oh no, a lot of people don't know the difference.
Well,
Sarah,
sure,
but also
there's most of the people listening to the show probably do, right?
But I would also say there's a lot of comfort in a password. Just want to throw that in.
100%. No, and that's kind of what I'm getting to. It's like the passkey future. Should it work eventually? Sort of across all things, that would be better for all of us. But then it's like. Yeah, but if that doesn't work, let's just have the password. You know, as like it's like the 3-factor auth, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's like you got the passkey, you got, you know, and then just in case, what about that password?
Microsoft claims that passkey users have a 98% sign-in success rate. In other words, they're asked for their passkey, the passkey works, and they go in. Whereas people with password-based accounts have a 32% sign-in success rate. So they get the password wrong, or they use the wrong password, or they put the password in, but multi-factor code that they typed in was wrong. 32% of the time, you have to do it again because you screwed something up. Whereas the passkey just gets you in. And that's why they say passkeys are 8 times faster than a password with multi-factor authentication.
And no one's going to argue with that. It's like, do you want to have that, like, reset my password? Oh, gosh, you know, get into LastPass. You know, like, nobody likes doing that. Happens to me all the time. And I feel like I'm pretty good at like, I understand how these things work. And yet, it just doesn't, it's not seamless. So the passkey experience, you know, if promised 98% sign-in success rate,
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
And if your passkey doesn't work, you can get the email that gives you the confirmation code to sign in, even if you don't have a password. This is what the screen looks like if you want to turn off your password. It says passwordless account turn on, which is a very Microsoft way of saying
hold on a
delete
second.
your
Let's
password.
look at this. Passwordless account off, turn on. Come on, guys.
You're turning on the passwordless
Oh
account.
yeah, well I'm sorry, this has been a problem with Microsoft from the beginning. You remember the start button is what you click, you know, older versions of
to finish,
to turn it off. Click on to turn off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many examples, just throughout the course of all of our days where it's like, do this, cancel, or, you know, where I'm like, you should have just said, like, do this should be the thing that I click, but I have to cancel not doing it.
I'm turning on no passwords. Should I do
Right.
it? Do you guys dare me?
Do it. I mean,
just-
is this?
You don't have a drum roll
I mean,
for
do
this?
it.
It gives you
but
it gives you
also
a
not if
chance
it,
to
like,
back
blows up
out.
your life.
It says a passwordless account reduces the risk of actually I can share this. There's nothing. There you go. It says to start setup, select next, then approve the password removal request from the Microsoft Authenticator app on your phone. Once you removed, you may lose access to some older apps. I'm not doing this right now.
Can
I
you
was about to. I had a
imagine- can you
sound
imagine
effect
how
set
many
up for you to
people-
do it.
All
Can
right,
you imagine
fine.
how many people get to this exact point where you're at and they're like,
Do it.
I don't
Do
know. It seems hard.
Now I have to approve it on my phone.
Oh, it's not fully done.
Well, all right.
You let us know when you've done it.
I did it.
All right.
Goodness gracious. That was
That was
dramatic.
a good sound. Yeah. There you go. My password is I no longer have a Microsoft password.
Okay.
What have I done?
You're passkey only on Microsoft. Well, what have you done? Maybe something really great.
I can
you're gonna have to
do
circle back
sign in
and
notification on my
let us know.
Microsoft app. I can enter an authentication code. I can use a passkey, or I can have a code emailed to me.
And when it comes to like the Microsoft product that you use most, what would this?
Oh, it would be Office for sure. Yeah, that's
this
the
would, like
thing.
if you
I
couldn't
ever
get
have
into
to log
Office,
in.
this would be super annoying.
Yeah.
But the promise is that you get
But
into
look,
it that much easier.
passwordless account is now turned on. I can turn it off.
So do you have to make a new password at
If
that
I
point?
turn
Oh,
off,
I see.
yeah,
I
I'm
see.
curious
It's
about
on,
that
turn
too.
off.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. You probably have to. Well, there
like
you go.
it probably
and you would
didn't
need your
keep my
passkey to do it.
password, right? Yeah, yeah.
What if it just says psych? Can't turn it off.
It's like,
Then
Too late.
yes. We were kidding. Ha. You know, you fell for it again. Well, Tom, let us know how your passwordless life in the Microsoft universe is going.
Thank you. I will. And folks, let us know if you like live password deletions on the internet as entertainment. Because we have a survey right now. We do a survey every year to find out what you folks like about the show. So if you have a few minutes, please fill out the survey. Not only what's working for you, but what isn't. Helps us figure out what is good about our show and what needs changing. It's fun to do, really helps us shape the show. So head to this address, dailytechnewsshow.com/survey.
Well, David Spark, it is RSA Security Conference wrap-up week, and you were there, as you always are. A lot of things happened this week, so
Yes.
let's talk about what the big news was.
So the big news, which was a big news last year, is AI, because AI is really infiltrating everything. But the big difference between last year and this year is last year the conversation was very much generative AI, which is how do I use AI to create content, create materials, answer questions, summarize things, help me make sense of information. And then the shift has gone from generative to agentic AI, which is how do I get AI to take actions for me on my behalf? And now the quality of this agentic AI, I have no idea, but many vendors were offering solutions in that space really to facilitate the actions of security professionals. So the classic space to do this is this Security Operations Center, or the SOC. This is sort of, mission control for any security department as they watch what's happening in an environment. And if you can get agentic AI tools to go identify, research, determine whether something is valuable or not, and then take actions to then maybe down the line, control issues before you have problems without a human interaction, that's great. Again, there are a lot of providers offering agentic AI. I don't know how good they are in practice. And I think, in time over this next year, we're going to see how good or bad these tools are.
What's the most frequent pitch for a security agent? Like what kind of things do they think it's best at?
The classic is what I was saying, the SOC, is that, you hear this line, and this is interesting. You hear this line, it goes, we'll get the AI tools doing the low-level work so you can focus on the important stuff, the stuff that your people. Now, one of the issues that came up I thought was quite interesting is, well, okay, let's say that's true. Well, what are the new security people going to learn? What is it that they're going to learn? It's saying like, oh, you don't need to know multiplication. Just use this calculator. We already have lots of tools that'll do the multiplication for you, which we do. Yes,
Yeah.
we do. But you really kind of need to know how multiplication works to be sort of a educated human to operate in a sort of a technology environment. So there's this question of what are we going to be training these sort of young next wave of security professionals if we're getting all these agentic AI tools out there doing this sort of low-level work already? Don't they need to learn the equivalent of long division by hand?
This is you make a really good point, David, because thinking of, I don't know, the idea of the calculator being like, well, nobody knows math anymore. Well, if you know fairly simple math, it's like, I don't know, if I'm like, 20 plus 40 or 20 times 40 type thing, calculator, like, I don't know, I haven't had my coffee in the morning, my brain is fried. It's like, I still know if it's wrong. I just want that validation of like, that's what I was going to say. But
Sarah,
if it was,
when is the last time you did long
absolutely wrong, then you would know, unless you just truly had no idea how numbers work.
But you understand, like, when's the last time you actually did long division by hand?
I mean, it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while for me too.
I mean, last
But
month.
you still understand the concept of it, and you had to learn it at a point.
Oh, yeah,
Dude, I'm
I
just
know how to
using
do
this
it.
example.
Well,
yeah.
I think this is an ongoing thing, and this is not unlike what people used to complain about WYSIWYG tools, whether you were talking about rapid application development or even something as simple as a web page, is you need to know the foundational stuff to know how things get put together. So you
exactly.
understand when threats come down the line. That's what they're trying to do, and then you can sort of, leapfrog and kind of get ahead of that. If you are constantly sort of, I hate to use this term, but sort of use it as a crutch, like, hey, I don't need to know it. It's gonna do it for me. You might not fully understand what you're dealing with, and so you might get a right answer.
That's
but
a good point.
You might get the incorrect context in which that answer comes from.
Yeah,
but
right.
that doesn't mean we don't use calculators. We
No,
still
but
teach people math. So
Yeah,
all
but
we're
if-
saying here is we need to make sure that
Yeah.
young people learn the basics of security
Yeah.
before they go into the profession,
It's-
right?
yeah, it's-
Which isn't wrong, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't use agents.
No, I'm not
I
saying
could
that
hire
you should.
AI to do all my writing for me. I mean, technically, I
Yeah.
could have AI write every
we
email
could do that
for
on
me.
this show too. I
Yeah.
mean,
It just
would be a
it's
very different
possible.
show.
It would be
It's
more-
like,
yeah.
you know, it would be
More-
not
less
the same
typos
show, but
for
it's
me.
like it is
Exactly.
possible now. But it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, the whole idea of just being like, I'm just sitting back as a human doing no work. That is not the deal. That is not the deal. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to figure out how we become, and to your point, David, before, it's like, how does some kind of minutia, get off of our plates so that we do the stuff that we're supposed to be doing.
Right, and nobody wants to do minutia, and that's a good point. We don't want to, but as an educational task, you should learn it. Like, the classic thing we were all in school. Why do I need to know this? I'm never going to have to do long division when I go to work, Well, you kind of just need to know it and understand it.
Is this kind of stuff affecting hiring?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know yet. We're so at the beginning stages, and the thing is like, well, what the heck are we going to train? Because this is a chronic problem, and that is there's young people eager, and not just young people switching careers too, but people new to cybersecurity, desperate to break in. And the thing is, there are less and less true entry-level positions. And some are arguing there really is no entry level. We were talking about this in a recording. It's actually an insertion point. What does your sort of existing knowledge allow you to insert yourself into a world of cybersecurity? It's becoming a very popular career choice because it's extremely lucrative, but starting from like zero with no experience and trying to go up is truly, really tough. I'll just tell you that I run the San Diego Cyber Group here in San Diego. If any of you listening are cybersecurity professionals in San Diego, I highly recommend you join our group and come to our regular meetings. But one of the things I do at the event is I ask people, raise your hand if you're hiring, and then raise your hand if you're looking for a job. And I'm trying to match people together.
Right.
And I'll tell you, that number of people raising their hand that they're hiring is like 0 to 2 these days. Those looking is like about 8 to 10. It's much higher.
Well, that whole lucrative part of it,
Yeah.
I think is, it's the companies
It's an
are like,
attractor. It's definitely an attractor.
Yeah, exactly. People
but
want that.
Can I talk about the cool, just RSA as a show itself and about all the cool stuff? I know I gave you a few images right here. So there were a lot of just wild things on the show. Okay, this is a room of goats. They literally set up a booth and put
is this,
goats in it.
Severance?
Yes.
Yeah, like
What
is
do they
this Severance?
represent?
I don't know, but a lot of this stuff is just designed to get you turned on. There was another one similar to that had puppies in it, and people went in to cuddle the puppies.
Now
that was popular.
That's just a good idea.
There you go.
That's just emotional manipulation.
That's just
There
Yeah,
you go. Good
that's gonna
point,
make everybody
Roger.
happier.
There was another. I think
Yeah, like I went to RSA and I came home with 2 puppies. What
well, that,
happened?
that is a good giveaway. I will say that. But I think there's a picture of these like astronauts that were floating. There were all these images that were there's the astronauts that were floating. There were wild thing images, but also the thing, and this I want to set you up with. This is going to be the video that don't put it up yet. I want to ask you, Sarah and Tom. I am coming down the escalator to the trade show floor, and this is what I see. I see in a booth a giant Price is Right wheel, like the Showcase Showdown wheel. I see it coming down, and all I can think like a moth to a flame.
It's coming down the escalator?
It's not good. No, it's not coming down.
You're coming down the
I'm coming down the escalator.
Okay, got it.
I see the wheel in a booth.
Yeah. got it.
And all I can say is, I have to spin this wheel. Would you be the same way? There it is.
Well,
This is
yeah.
me
You're
spinning
going
the
to
wheel.
want to spin the wheel. Absolutely.
100%.
I want to spin the wheel.
100%.
I was right.
I mean,
I didn't
I'm
win.
not spinning
Oh, you
that
didn't win?
wheel.
I did
You
not
kidding?
win. No, I didn't
What
win.
could you win? What were the prizes?
They were giving away. I think they were giving away a game device, like the equivalent, kind of a Game Boy type device.
Look at your face.
I was so
35.
bummed I didn't win.
Disappointed. Yeah.
I was so, but that wheel, that was a highlight for me to be able to spin that wheel. Would you be as excited as I was?
I would want to spin that wheel.
Oh, I would want to
Absolutely.
spin that wheel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've wanted to spin that wheel since
Your
The
entire-
Price is Right has been in business.
Did
Len,
it
would
make
you
the
want to spin that
sounds?
wheel?
Yeah,
It made the click, 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 click sound. Yes, it totally
made that little
did.
beep sound too. Beep, 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 beep.
I think it was just the click, click of the little, the little
okay.
tag thing that was there.
And no, I wouldn't because it didn't have that beep. No,
Len is
Be
a
like,
purist when it comes to prices, right?
Bob
Yeah.
Barker there, because if he was
Well,
there,
they'd have to raise him from the dead.
Are we spaying our pets?
yes, he's spaying and neutering. Right?
Okay.
The puppies were right next door.
Yeah, I know they were right
man.
next door.
Now I see.
And the goats.
At the goats,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
The first time I ever saw goats, first time, and then they were having. I think we had the video of this. They had an animatronic dinosaur also on the floor, and they had one of these. And I don't know. Yeah, there was the animatronic dinosaur, and they also had a this robot dog too that was kind of wild looking. This thing right here.
Oh, kind of like
okay.
Boston
I've seen that at
Dynamics.
CES.
Yeah,
That's
look at
the
that.
same
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
So again, what this does is it qualifies that you have a short attention span and you can be easily distracted.
Yeah.
Maybe the goats were something like, we're like the goat of the cybersecurity.
Oh,
Gamer-
there's a good
gamer
point. I
of the
didn't
year.
even see.
We're the
Now, here's the
goats.
sad thing. I don't remember the name of the vendor who had that.
See,
That's
it
the
didn't work.
problem.
It didn't
Yeah.
work.
Didn't work.
Because
They tried.
the puppies is just like, come to our booth, we have puppies. Like, I get that, but no one really wants to be around goats. But it is an
That's a good
attention
point.
grabber.
If they're
for
there,
yourself.
you might as well.
Oh, I love it. I love a good goat. With the headbutt.
A little salt and a little pepper.
Yeah,
Perfect.
And I
delicious.
know you. I know you've spent time with goats, and yet you still say that. It's wild to me.
Their goats are so cute.
Yeah, they just try to eat everything, and they smell.
Yeah, they do. They
I mean,
smell.
Oh, they have
people.
that. They have that
That's
machine
basically
gun
what a
poo that
person
comes out the
is.
back.
Fair point.
All right, everybody. It is Friday, and it's time for another quiz, because that's what we do on Fridays to take us into the weekend. But today there's a twist. David, graciously,
Yay.
you brought your CISCO Series games to help us
do.
out today.
Hold it. So hold it. Wait, sharing. Hold it. Wait. I don't want to. I'm just seeing this tool. Do I say sharing screens or sharing screens? Okay, share screen, but it's not going to share my whole screen. It's going to let me choose a window. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Now, I played a version of this game with you before, but here, let's go to. Hold on. I go to present. Hold on, how do I? Or you present?
Yeah,
Who presents? Oh, there we go. I played a version of this, but this is different than the last time we played. Okay.
Okay.
So here is
Different
the game.
characters.
Different characters. So I want you to know that we played this game during RSA, and there are 9 questions here. So 9 questions of this, and this person got 100%. So let's see if any
Wow.
of you can score
Okay.
100% on this game.
We can't beat them. We can only match them.
Yeah.
No, only can match. Well, no, you can play each other.
Are you a
okay?
goat or aren't
No,
you?
the person that got them all right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go. First one. Whoops. Here.
Security company or Star Wars
Security
character?
company or Star Wars character. What is this one? Here, I got to keep score over here for all of you.
Security
So
company.
Yeah, that's a security.
Agari.
company.
A
Yeah.
gar-
It's a
Sorry.
security. It's a security company.
I'm gonna go with security company as well.
Or a
Everyone's going
smoothie.
security company.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what I don't even remember what the answer to this is. It is
Yeah,
security
there
company.
it
You
is.
get
Yeah.
a point. Okay.
And
Agari
it ripped
acquired
off
by
Adobe's logo.
Fortra in 2021.
Fortra.
Fortra. Star
Good old
Wars character.
Fortra.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I can read
right.
your Fortra.
Bib
So you all have a
Fortra.
point.
Yeah, Bib Fortora.
Okay. We're going to the next one. Almec.
Security company.
Yeah, security company.
Star Wars.
Sarah?
I'll go with Star Wars.
I'm going Star Wars.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we're 50-50. This is where we separate.
50-50. This is where the champions come out.
Yeah.
It is Star Wars. Okay.
Oh, and Mandalorian even.
Wow.
Sarah and Roger get it. Okay, good
That
job.
is from Clone Wars.
From the Clone Wars.
A Mandalorian
Yes.
politician who served as Prime Minister of Mandalore during the Clone Wars, later becoming a puppet leader under Maul's rule. That's all,
Almec.
Mech. Roger, I knew
Oh,
it.
Almec.
Almec.
Of course,
course.
everybody's favorite
Okay.
uncle.
Simcore.
That is a security company.
I'll say security.
I say security.
Security. I want to
They're all
be.
going
I want to say
security.
Star Wars. Just
You're
to
all
get a
correct.
point,
Good
but
job.
It's
Good
definitely
job.
security.
Simcore, security company.
Yeah.
Simcore.
All right, good job. Next one. Embo.
Star Wars character.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
All right, everyone thinks it's Star Wars. You are all correct. Good job.
Yes. Look
A
at this man.
Kayuzu bounty hunter with a distinct wide-brimmed hat, used as both a shield and weapon, known for his loyalty and combat skills during the Clone Wars.
So,
You
so
to know
David,
that
you're like
Sarah
a big
and Roger,
Clone
by the
Wars
way, are
fan.
currently scoring 100%.
Yeah.
4 for 4. We have 5 more to go, though.
We're very intelligent.
You've got this.
Garindon.
Star Wars
Wars.
character.
Flowers.
I'm gonna say Star Wars.
Okay. Star Wars.
4. I said Star
4
Wars.
Star Wars. You are correct. There you go.
He was a
His-
turncoat.
A
His name was
Kubas informant
Garindon?
who reported the location of Luke Skywalker and
Oh,
Obi-Wan
that was
Kenobi
the
to the
Garindon.
Empire
I
in A New
didn't realize
Hope.
that one.
I remember you,
Yeah.
Garindon.
He
you
sounded like this.
craphead.
Craphead. All right, and Fido
Ooh,
or on
this one
Fido.
could
I'd
go
say
either
Star Wars.
way.
I'll say Star Wars.
I say security company.
I'm going to say security because Fido.
Yes,
And we're
security
on
company.
the Fido Alliance.
Okay, so we have three security companies, and Roger's going
Roger's
Star
going Star
Wars?
Wars.
I
Yeah.
don't-
Can't
All right.
Roger,
Yeah. There you go.
security
Yeah.
company. Roger is no longer batting 100%.
Sarah now
Oh,
takes
It
the lead.
is. Barris, Sarah, you have. Sarah, think hard on the next 3.
Wait, is Sarah's picture the one that comes up at the end, the one who got it all right the first time around?
She was
I
at
want you to
RSA.
know.
Is that what you're trying to say?
It was not. Okay, we got 3 more to go. Ula.
Ula is a
it's
Star
security
Wars.
Star
character.
Wars.
No, Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Star Wars. Star Wars.
Security.
Sarah.
I think it's security company.
Yeah.
I'm saying security company.
Nah, that's a Star Wars character.
Okay, so we split here. So
Yeah.
Sarah.
Do
and
you
Tom
know
are
the
Star
I
Star
said
Wars
what I
character?
said. I can't
I
change
do.
my mind now.
I know
What
the
do we
Star
know
Wars
it?
character.
Sarah, I'm sorry, you're going security company.
Yeah.
And Tom's going security company,
Yes.
and Len's going Star Wars, and Roger's going Star Wars. Do I have that
Glenn
correct?
has
Yeah,
the Ula
yeah, it's a
action
50-50
figure.
split.
apparently.
It's a 50-50
It's a
split. Okay,
pillow.
the correct answer is
Thank you very much.
it
Yep.
is Star Wars.
She
Sorry.
was she
Ula
danced in
was
Jabba's
the
compound.
Twi'lek dancer in
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt's palace who was ultimately fed to the Rancor after resisting Jabba's advances.
There you go.
I always
That's-
find it weird
that's
that they had
fun.
a creature.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
but now
probably
That's
why-
what you get for being a nerd. In
we have a
like,
3-way tie. This is close. Len,
close.
Roger, and Sarah all have 6. Tom has 5.
Oh
Here we go.
boy.
We have 2
I'm
left.
trailing.
Radis.
Security company.
Yeah, security company. Not to be confused with a radish, which is a vegetable.
It is?
Okay, that is correct.
Is.
Roger, Sarah,
What kind
where do you
of
land?
vegetables?
I will say Radis.
I'm gonna say Star Wars.
I'll say
going
Star
rogue,
Wars.
man.
I'll say Star
Okay,
Wars.
so do I have this
Rogue
correct?
One.
Star Wars for Sarah and Roger, security for Tom and Len.
That's correct.
Okay, let's see what we've got. It is Star Wars.
Remember?
Admiral, not general.
Yeah,
was
he
Amon
was.
Calamari, Admiral, and
That's
key
why it's so
leader
familiar.
in the
He was
Rebel
the-
Alliance, who
Okay.
commanded the fleet during the Battle of
Rogue One.
Scarif
Rogue One.
and Rogue One.
So did
Right.
they killed him, right? They
look at
must have killed him at
Radis.
the end.
Oh,
no,
what
Right.
a cutie.
Sarah and Roger are in the lead.
All right, we're doing
Okay.
it.
But
We're
they
doing
tied?
it.
Len, you could tie here if they
Okay.
blow it on this one.
All right,
Or one
here
of
we
you
go.
take a lead.
Is this the last one?
one? Last one.
I say Star Wars.
Star Wars character.
It's Star Wars.
No, it's security.
Tom's coming up with security.
Sinek.
Okay, are we all found it? Okay.
Yeah, we're locked in.
Security for Tom
I know I
Star
can't even.
Wars
I
for
can't even
everybody
get in the
else.
lead.
and the correct answer is it's actually a security.
Ah.
It's
Like-
pronounced Synac.
Yeah, like,
Two.
Synac.
like the
So-
sin and acknowledge.
Synapse. Man.
Shows how much
the
we
internet.
know. It's like Synac. Nah.
Well, you
must
know
be a
what?
Star
It
Wars
should have
character.
been. Star
Well,
Wars.
Glenn, your strategy should have been to just go against whatever Sarah and Roger said.
Well, it was alternating there for a little bit
the only
between
way to
security
win.
company, Star Wars security, and then you changed midway, Dave.
My
Okay, I
strategy
got another
should have
game
been
for
to
you.
open up
Co-winners.
My Star Wars collection.
Sarah and Roger co-winners, though.
Are we all right? Sarah and Roger are
Yay.
co-winners.
Burritos
Ah.
for everyone.
But
Do we-
Tom,
do we
Tom
get
and Len
money?
tied, just one behind. So you had 7 and 6 for the. Okay, we have the next game loaded up to go. Here we go. All right, this is how this game works. All right, and you'll play on teams. Since I'm going to have Tom and Sarah will be on one team, and Len and Roger will be on the other
Woohoo,
team.
Asian.
Here we
I-
go. Yes.
I will let you, Sarah, choose
Okay,
You
it's a
get to
racial
be-
game. Got it.
Asians versus the Irish.
Actually, it should say
Fight,
Disney.
fight, fight.
Go.
It's Disney princess versus villain. So
Okay.
do you want to be, for your team, Sarah and Tom, do you want to be the Disney princess or do you want to be the Disney villain?
I feel pretty.
I feel pretty too. Let's do princess.
All right.
Okay.
we're princess.
Roger.
Then
I feel
Len
stunning, and I'm
Roger,
going to be the villain.
So what we're going to do is we're going to present, just so you know, I'm going to present 3 possible princesses to you and Tom, Sarah and Tom, and then 3 villains to Len and Roger as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick one, and then you're going to argue, and I will be the judge and jury on this, and whoever makes the best argument. You will argue why your princess would make a better CISO, a Chief Information Security Officer. And by the way, there are tips here. You will see there are tips on building your argument as well.
Okay.
And then vice versa, Len and Roger will make their argument for the princess.
Very good.
Or for the villain. I'm sorry,
the
you're going to be
villain,
playing
yes.
the villain. Okay, so here are your 3 options, and I'll try to read these quickly. We have Belle, and I'm just going to kind of go through and I'll come back to each one. Belle, Jasmine, or Ariel. And now just briefly, Belle's level of learning curiosity make her keen on staying ahead on the latest cybersecurity trends and technologies. Her ability to see beyond the surface could help in identifying hidden vulnerabilities and threats. Now, Jasmine's assertiveness and desire for freedom translate into a leadership style that pushes boundaries and challenges the status quo, beneficial for driving organizational change in cybersecurity culture. Diplomatic skills also aid in negotiating with stakeholders. And lastly, Ariel, she's curious and willingness to explore new worlds align with the need for CISOs to venture into emerging technologies in cybersecurity realms, so she can be aggressive that way. Now, her ability to adapt to completely new environments mirrors the flexibility required to manage security in various landscapes. Just tell me which of the 3 you would like to pick. We'll get into the arguments later. Which of the 3 do you want, Tom?
Yeah,
and
Sarah, I feel
Remember,
like
it's Ariel, Jasmine, and Belle.
Ariel has been hacked before, which could be a positive. But
Ariel has been hacked before?
yeah, because when she got tricked into losing
Oh,
her
Ursula,
voice.
yes,
Yeah,
good
by
point,
Ursula.
good
right,
point.
of course,
Right.
yeah. Just give me your
But by the way,
voice.
all security professionals have dealt with this severe
That's what I'm
incident.
saying. Yeah, it
Yes.
could be an advantage. But I actually really like Jasmine.
I like
She
Jasmine too.
seems like a leader.
Thank
Okay,
you.
hold
I
on
think
to
we're-
this thought. Think to yourselves as to how you want to do it. Okay, now let's go to the 3 villains. We have Ursula, Len, and Roger. Ursula's drive for leadership and expert negotiating would allow her to speak confidently to the board and motivate staff. Plus, her knowledge of contract law would be an asset with vendors. Remember, she made her sign the
Yes,
contract.
right.
All right. Jafar has a proven track record of long-term planning and execution that would set up your cybersecurity program for success. He spent years achieving his goals under executive leadership that is not engaged with his overall mission. And lastly, Scar. Scar excels at strategic thinking and anticipating threats. His knack for long-term planning and understanding of power dynamics translates well to managing cybersecurity risks and ensuring organizational resilience. Plus, he's comfortable with working with non-traditional partners to achieve his goals. Just don't invite him to Meatless Mondays.
I would go with
Yep.
Scar.
Really?
Scar?
Scar?
You got Ursula, Jafar, or Scar?
Jafar was too focused that he missed the final
Yeah.
threat that got him stuck. And
Right,
then
right,
Ursula seemed a little scattered brain. That means she might have been good at those core things, but really she just wanted the one thing, and like Jafar. kinda
Okay, so
missed it.
you're going for Scar. I think
Scar,
a
I
very
agree.
good choice. I think Scar is an excellent choice. Okay, so now you will have to make the arguments. So we're going back to Jasmine. It's Jasmine versus Scar here. I will ask you, Sarah, Tom, just make your argument. Why do you think Jasmine would make a better cyber information security officer, a better security leader for your organization, for whomever? But why do you think she should be best?
I don't know. I mean, Tom,
By the way, don't start with "I don't know." You got to come up with a convincing argument.
it's more like I don't know who goes first. Is it me or Tom? But I feel like Jasmine being assertive and very much for freedom is something that is pushing her in the right direction. I think Scar might have some nefarious qualities that Jasmine does not have. Jasmine
yes, we
wants
know he's a villain.
organizational change, remember.
But that's a cultural conceit that I don't think applies here.
Well, speaking of culture, I mean, we have a bridge builder across cultures in Jasmine, and that's
Good
the,
point.
the kind
That's-
of
that's-
perspective diversity that you want to bring in and be able
Definitely
to threat model.
persuasive, very persuasive.
All right. I'm going to both Len and Roger on this one. You got Scar now here. They made a very good argument here. Scar, why do you think you'd be the better CISO?
He understands timing. He knows when he understands how to collect a group of individuals, disparate groups, into a singular vision. His
Managing.
vision.
He's a good manager.
He's a good manager, but he's
That
also
is
a
a
good
really
leader.
good point.
He's a good leader, and he knew when the opportune time was to leverage his action. Right, he went from
But he's
he
gonna
went from
eat
planning.
you at
He
lunch.
went from planning.
Well,
he went from
he just-
planning to a high velocity execution of the plan, and it
Yeah,
worked
you need power.
initially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he's powerful.
initially, how did it turn out in the end?
Well, there was a coup, I would think, and
Yes.
yeah, it's a
Well,
little bit of a problem.
and again, they there. But I'm going to actually. I thought Roger, you made a good argument. Tom, your argument was good, but Roger edged you out there. So, Team Roger and Len win on this
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
Very good.
I guess
Very good.
lions beat women. Once again.
No, it's not even that. I
Lions
think
can be
there's-
lions are different genders.
I
Sarah,
think-
they're not just a
one.
single.
I
The
think
female
Scar-
Aware
lion,
of
same
this,
story.
actually. Yes,
Scar
I've been to a
has
zoo
the-
or two in
He
my life.
has the longevity, I think. You know, he's
All
been
right,
around for a
Scar.
while.
Scar, okay, fine.
What's
Yeah.
Scar's track record in the end, though? That's my problem. with Scar.
Well, like we don't know the end of Jasmine's story now, do we?
Yeah, that's right. We don't
All right,
know.
We know the end of Scars, right? And that's the point.
But
If you want, I have
Jasmine's
another
still
game.
successful.
Do we have a time for another game?
Yeah, I think we do,
We got
don't we?
time.
Okay.
if you could do it, squeeze in 4 minutes. Yes.
Yes, we'll play it as long as you want to play it. That's
Okay.
the thing that we can do. Here we go. Essentially, it's the game you've played before, which is the game we called the public interest. In fact, I will play the music for it. Here we go.
Do you know what others are thinking? On the public interest.
All right, let's load it up. Public interest. Here it goes. You just A/B type questions here. Oops. Okay. Most average monthly search queries: smishing or vishing. Now, do you know that SMS,
Yeah.
smishing or voice,
Smishing or
essentially different ways
Smishing.
to attack?
Vishing.
I say vishing. B.
I had a vishing last night.
I,
Okay.
you know, I am so out of it. I don't even know what these are.
The kids are
Yeah,
all
well-
smishing,
well,
Len.
he-
Smishing,
Just
it's
told you,
essentially
Len.
it's the so you know what phishing is, where they go
Yes.
through your email. So smishing is where they go through the SMS,
Ah.
and vishing through voice.
Ah,
So,
hey,
what do you think?
smishing. Yeah, smishing.
Smishing? Hold it. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to go through. Sarah, what'd you say?
I said vishing.
Okay.
I said B.
Okay. And what do you say, Tom?
Smishing.
Okay. Also, so I'm,
I'm
sorry.
I'm smishing. Yeah.
I'm smishing
Everyone's
a little
smishing
over
except
here.
me. I'm vishing.
Okay, everyone's smishing
I
but
am
you.
vishing as well.
Oh,
Everyone's
okay, split.
smishing but you. Okay.
No,
Here we
I'm
go.
vishing. I'm
Correct.
vishing.
You're
Oh,
vishing.
Roger's
I'm sorry.
vishing.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I'm
it's-
sorry.
we're
Me and
Sarah's
Len
the
are
only one who's
smishing.
smishing. Sarah wins. Way to go.
no, I
What?
lose. I
You
said
lose.
vishing.
No, we lose. Tom and Len win.
I thought it was
Yeah.
you. Oh, I'm
Was
sorry.
it smishing? Because I said smishing.
I
No,
said
I'm
You
sorry.
said
Smishing.
smishing.
You said
and
vishing. I
Len
take that
win.
back.
Roger
The
and I
A-
lose.
Yeah.
I love the idea of someone listening to this on audio, like on a walk, or maybe during a
It's
commute,
smishing,
and just being
smishing.
like, "What is
to old
happening
people.
on this show?"
It's just smishing. Don't
I'm
you
sorry.
understand?
Who?
That's
I just want to get the
smishing.
correct answer. Who was the one said smishing? Who said vishing?
I said
Len
smishing.
and I said smishing.
Tom and
Okay,
Len
okay.
win.
Yes.
Okay.
So we had time for one more.
Got time for
Question.
We'll just do one more quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, disinformation or misinformation?
Disinformation, A.
I'm going to say B.
Misinformation.
I'm going to say B. Misinformation.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
B. Sarah?
I mean, this is one of those ones. Like it's kind of the same. I'm going to say B. Misinformation.
Okay, and the correct answer. So Roger's the only one who said disinformation. The correct answer is it is misinformation. So Tom and Len tie in this game with getting two
Let's do
correct
one more,
for both.
just me and Len. Tiebreaker.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Quickly, tiebreaker.
Yeah, this is like
Can't play?
This is the finals, man. This
Well,
is
you have to
Fine,
disagree if you want to be that affiliate
Yeah.
of
I
broker.
won
We'll
the first game, but okay.
I'm going to say A, affiliate.
I'm going to say B, broker.
All right. One of you is going to be the winner. Now, I just want to say, I don't know what the answer is, but traditionally, the one that is harder to spell is usually the one that is got less searches.
Because people
So,
don't spell it right.
my feeling it's probably going to be broker, but we're going to see what happens.
see.
It is broker. Correct. Tom wins. Good job,
Man,
Tom.
could not. Good play, Merritt. Good play.
Good,
There you go.
good game. Good game. Roger, Sarah, and I all had good wins. And Len,
job.
Len had a
And
tie.
Len, thank you for just showing up.
Hey, you have to have
Len,
an off week,
listen,
right?
I
Yeah.
can rib Len a little bit
Yeah.
because he has won so many of these games in the
Yeah,
past.
it's it's an off week. I'm coming back. I'll be coming
Well,
back.
you know
stronger.
what Len does
you know,
win
you're
at?
You're gonna come back.
Every time he's on, Len wins at Best Art on the Show. Thank you
yes,
for
that's
illustrating today's show, Len.
So you guys talked about some really, really incredible things, but the thing that I kind of took was the very first thing you talked about, that Grand Theft Auto is being pushed back another year. And here we have
waste of time.
it's called A Grand Waste of Time. This is my take on the cover of Grand Theft Auto. This is what it should be. Everybody
Is that
should be
Jerry
playing.
Garcia?
Yeah, this guy's been waiting so long that he's turned into a corpse. Yes, everybody should be playing Marvel Rivals anyway. No,
Wow.
we're just gonna
All
keep
right.
waiting. Just wait. This time next year, they'll push it back to 2027. It'll be all right. So,
Probably.
yeah. So this image, if you're interested, if you like that, you can get it at my online store, lenperaltastore.com, or at my Patreon, patreon.com/Len. By the way, Mother's Day is coming up. You guys, you can certainly commission me. I'm looking for commissions, so definitely hit me up for that. Mother's Day, Father's Day, grads, all the things are coming. So think about me in the future.
When I think about Mother's Day, I think about Len.
I do too. Yeah.
I do that a lot.
Thank you so much. Yes, I
It's the first
like a
person who
mother
comes
to me.
mind.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
David Spark,
Mom.
also so good to have you. Not
Thank you,
only
Sarah.
for your extremely fun games and quizzes, but let folks know where they can keep up with your work.
Well, it's not just me, but it's also Sarah, everybody.
That's right.
If you go to the CISCO Series, we have 5 shows on our network right now. You see them? There are all those icons at the top of the screen. And your very own on DTNS, Sarah Lane, is also one of our reporters on cybersecurity headlines. We have a daily news show. It's a lot shorter. It's only 6-7 minutes. And if you're in cybersecurity and you would like to know about just the latest news in cybersecurity, but very quickly, tune in. And once a week, you get to hear Sarah. So
It's true.
that is worth it alone. She's one of our fantastic reporters.
Well, thank you so much for gassing me up. Yes, I love working with the CISO Series team, and it's been very, very fun. We've been doing it for a few months now, so thank
We
you
love
for
having
the
you on.
opportunity, David. And yes, onward with cybersecurity news. Also, Tom, turns out we have to name the show.
We do. And thankfully, we don't have to name it ourselves. People submit the titles at dtns.showbot.tv. Batfink 2001 leading with AI Me Anything as the title suggestion.
That's fun.
We also have Saray with Ask the Redditor. Comfort in a Password from Clinton Woodward, and Saray again with The Passkey is Forced. Sarah, what did we go with?
Well, even though we have some very creative titles today, we're gonna go with AI Me Anything. That one comes from Badfang.
Well
I like it. It's good.
Badfink. Big thanks to everybody who supports us by watching the show on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Twitch. PC Milesy cheered us with 110 bits. By the way, if you're like, what are bits? I explained it on the editor's desk on Patreon this week. Check that out. Zoe Brings Bacon and Paley Glendale also gave us bits. Razin resubscribed for the 41st month. And we got a follow from Pale Wise Guy and Zelmo V. Thanks, everybody, for supporting us at Twitch and on YouTube and on Patreon, patreon.com/DTNS. You also should go to our YouTube channel. We got a bunch of great stuff over there, including Tom's Top 5. This week, I'm counting down the best streaming TV devices. You can catch that at Daily Tech News Show on TikTok and Instagram and youtube.com/Daily Tech News Show.
You can also watch us live. We do it live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 2000 UTC. Put it on your calendar. Hang out with us live. Of course, you can join us after the fact as well. But you can find out more about everything we do live at dailytechnewsshow.com/live. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. We're back on Monday with Justin Robert Young joining us. We'll talk to you then.
This week's episodes of Daily Tech News Show Live were created by the following people: producer and host Sarah Lane, host Tom Merritt, host Rob Dunwood, producer Roger Chang, video producer Joe Kuntz, producer at large Anthony Lemos, social media producer and moderator Zoe Detterding, our mods Beatmaster, W. Scottus1, BioCow, Captain Kipper, Steve Guadarrama, Paul Reese, Matthew J. Stevens, aka Gadget Virtuoso, and JD Galloway. Mod and video hosting by Dan Christensen. Music provided by Martin Bell and Dan Looters. Art by Len Peralta. Acast ad support from Tatiana Matias. Patreon support from Tom McNeil. Contributors for this week's shows include Scott Johnson, Dr. Nikki, and Jen Cutter. And our guests this week included Bobby Frankenberger, Brian Ibbett, and David Spark. And thanks to all our patrons who make the show possible.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Get more at frogpants.com.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.